Welcome to the Music Roundtable with your hosts,
Clint,
Lyle,
Vicky,
and me, Kim, where the only opinions that matter is our own.
another session of bro time.
Yes.
Always bro time. Speaking of bro time, so Kim Mitchell, we went to the show. What day was that?
November
though?
11th.
Remembrance
That's
Day,
right.
November 11th,
Remembrance Day. What a
2024.
great day to go to a rock concert. It kind of came out of the blue. That's what I'll say about going to Kim Mitchell. Because Clint and I have always wanted to see him. And it just came up. And I think that was kind of how it started. We went, hey, Kim Mitchell is coming. Who wants to go? It's the Commodore. Vicky's never been to the Commodore.
I had never been. It was my first Commodore experience.
And so a great way to introduce you to the Commodore, I think, because we've never seen him. You guys have never seen him.
I've never seen him. No.
And
Donna had.
Yeah, Donna
had saw
yeah.
him in Expo 86. So.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was a good opportunity.
I was going to say, but it was a very long time ago.
A
So.
very long time ago, yes.
We weren't sure what to expect because I know none of us had really, shall we say, followed his career past a certain point.
Well, he
Or
went on to
heard-
his radio career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's been a long time, but just seeing the fact that he was performing was like, okay, we have to go.
And considering his age, he did
He did amazing.
Well,
72?
72, yeah.
72 years old. And like, what a performance.
And he had a heart attack, though,
Oh,
about 5 years ago. Yeah.
didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I did just read that note. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he sounded amazing
So-
for as old as he is.
It sounded like it was coming right off the album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what to expect.
No.
Really did not. And was pleasantly surprised. Heard a lot of songs I've never heard before. And of course, he played all the favorites.
Well, just
Which was
even
huge.
before he hit the stage and the music that they were playing before he came on.
Yeah.
Awesome hearing all that Canadian music.
Canadian, and that's the other thing. Yeah,
There's
he's
only a couple songs that
Canadian.
we're Canadian.
That's
but-
a big thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, how often do you go see a Canadian artist? And I was really happy about this one. So
Yeah, and all from the 80s and 70s and 80s. It was a pretty cool night.
It was a very
cool,
cool
yeah.
night.
Yeah.
I said the big question that comes from all of this is, yes, Vicky, it was your first Commodore
Yes.
show. So
Yes, it was.
How was
popped
that
your
experience?
bubble.
How was your experience for you?
Cherry, yeah.
Yeah, quite honestly, I was hoping for a really late night, but
I mean, it was over at 10.
but it
that's
was
okay.
over. Well, it was like 10:30.
10:30.
Yeah, they
10:30,
said
yeah.
it was going to be over at 10, but it ran till like 20 after, almost 10:30.
Yeah, no opening act, which was
No
okay. I'm
opening
okay
act,
with
but
that.
yeah, no, it's a very cool venue. I would
Yeah.
definitely go again.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was
Good
a
acoustics.
good. Yeah, it sounded great.
Yeah, so
It was crowded, but it didn't feel crowded.
Because we're upstairs. The
Yeah.
mezzanine is the place to be.
Yeah.
I don't want to be
You got
downstairs.
what I'm saying though is when you're in that venue, you feel
The
the
music.
music
Oh,
around
yeah.
you, and
Yeah.
that's what I love about
Yes.
the Commodore is you literally feel the music. Like it just becomes a part of you, and it's
It's definitely
awesome.
very cool seeing really any artist in a venue like that. That's
It's more
intimate.
It's intimate, yeah.
yes.
intimate.
'Cause
Yeah.
I looked
mean,
it
it's
up.
not a huge venue. It's not
No.
small, but it's
900,
not.
990 people.
people. That's all.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I think it was full.
Oh,
It
was.
felt really full.
I think it sold out because we weren't expecting it to. That's really
No.
funny. But we weren't because we talked about it before. We're like, it's going to be fine. There's not going to be that many people there. Holy crap.
Yeah.
And it seemed like there was a broad range of ages there,
There
too. It
was.
wasn't just like people around our age. There were
No.
young people. There were older people. And
Yeah, it was a good crowd.
Yeah.
Didn't see any shenanigans going on, so that was nice. And
Well,
it was there was
the
that
guys
one
in
guy-
front of us,
like they were a little drunk.
they were having a good time.
They were.
Yeah.
They were trying to rock out, and really, you're on a mezzanine, and you can fall off. So they got told to sit down.
to sit their butts, but yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I didn't
Oh,
see
yeah,
any
no, it was
fights, nothing like
fantastic,
that.
yeah.
It's always a nice venue, and the fact that he didn't have an opening act was really nice because you knew you were just gonna see Kim Mitchell and hear everything that he wants to play. He's a good storyteller.
Yeah,
What
there were
story
a
was
couple
that?
good stories.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you had one. You had the one.
I did. I had
Yeah.
one. I don't have the set list in front of me, but whatever the fourth song that he played.
Was it fourth or
I had notes. Yeah, it was the fourth song.
Easy
when
to
he
Tame?
was introducing his
Yeah,
bandmates.
Easy to Tame. There was.
Yeah, that's what it was. And
Yeah.
he talked about his mom and how every time he
Oh,
plays that
yeah.
song, he pictures his mom dancing in his
Yeah,
head.
that was
Yeah.
that was very
it was
cool.
a really sweet story.
Such
Yeah.
a nice story. Yeah, so I love the fact that he told stories. Like that's a nice way to lead into the songs.
That's the same thing when we see Glass Tiger coming
Yeah.
up too. Alan Frew does that too.
Yeah.
He will
Yeah.
tell stories.
Yeah.
And,
That's awesome. I love
Yeah.
it when they do that, when people do that.
Yeah.
You get that
Pretty
interaction and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a little bit of
You feel
insight
part
as
of
to
it, right?
how
Like-
they
Yeah.
came up
Yeah.
with that song or whatever, what
Well,
that
and
song
also
means to them.
you have that personal connection now because they relay that story and you're part of that crowd hearing that story,
Yes.
and it does hit down on emotional note, which was funny because so when this did start and it came out, is obviously Kim didn't really interact with the band during those like first two songs.
Not me,
And that-
Kim Mitchell, Kim.
Yeah, Kim Mitchell. Sorry.
That's very specific on this one. Yeah.
Yes. Kim Mitchell didn't interact right away, so there was interaction with the bassist at that time. So I was a little scared that he wasn't going to have that kind of interaction right away. And then obviously when he did jump into the stories and telling you now it's like, okay, this is great. This is cool.
Yeah.
He kind of almost came out like kind of like a shy guy when he first started
Yeah.
it out.
Like not a lot of
Yeah.
movement, and you were
Yeah,
kind of
like-
concerned it was
Like
a
it took him a
tragically
little
hip.
bit to kind of figure out what he was doing
Yeah,
and
warming
Yeah,
up.
but then yeah,
warm
no,
up
he-
to the crowd.
yeah.
yeah, but then once he got there, got his toes wet as it were, and just it rocked. Like,
Yeah, it was, good.
It was a lot. It was a fun night.
I was impressed.
Well, yeah, and the song that he came out with was interesting. That was my first CD, one of the first ones I got.
yes, it was your first CD.
So my
which-
dad went down south to get the
I
CD.
always find this hilarious. Obviously, I've known Lyle way too long. Is Canadian artist, he gets the CD of a Canadian artist. His dad buys it for him in Texas. And I always thought it was funny because I
Yeah.
remember Lyle getting the CD, and it was great that he got it. It was just funny that
But it was
a
purchased
it
in-
was a Canadian artist, and the CD was actually purchased in
Texas.
Texas.
Yeah, yeah. Like I thought it was great opening with Rock and Roll Duty.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
that
That
definitely
was-
gets the
You gotta keep
Yeah,
get people going.
But to go
right?
into Rockland Wonderland, I was like, "What? That album's done already." There was only the two songs off it that were hits, and I was like, "Oh, well, I thought that would have been played later on." But
yeah.
yeah,
No, he saved the two that I know best for
For the
last.
last. Yeah. Well, yeah, like I said, there was a lot I didn't know, but they were still
But
really
they were
good.
still really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because he went into his deep cuts with his previous
which now
band,
wants
which
me
Yeah.
to go into to start listening to the older Max Webster's.
Max Webster stuff.
Yeah,
And that's the first band he formed, right? He
Yeah.
formed
Yeah.
the band Max
Yeah.
Webster with fellow Sarnia native Pi Dubois. Max Webster toured extensively and built a string of hits. Mitchell's solo career began after his departure from Max Webster in 1982 with session work and a succession of solo albums.
Oh, didn't he tell that story when he was on tour with Richie Blackmore?
Yes.
And they were sitting in the pub, and he goes, and Richie Blackmore was like, "I don't like you,"
Oh, yeah.
and he was like,
What?
"What?
Why?
Why? Because you don't play a Strat."
Yeah.
And he went up
Oh,
the next day
yeah.
and bought a Strat.
yeah.
That's right.
Influence.
And that's why
Yep.
I bought my guitar was
Because of the.
because of what he played, that he played the heavy metal Strat or whatever.
That's
yeah.
so
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. It was, he had a black one,
Yeah.
black stone finish, and I think I wanted a green stone finish. I just got a regular green, but
Well, yours was
Yeah.
black with green lightning bolts, wasn't it? Or
no, that was another one. This was the Strat that I picked up that was trying to mimic his,
oh, okay.
and it didn't work out. But it didn't work. But that's the reason why I play the guitar that I played, was because of seeing Rockland, Wonderland, and Rock and Roll.
Rock and roll duty.
Yeah.
Rock and roll duty. Yeah.
Yep.
That was definitely obviously what hit it for us. Obviously, a lot of other people, or maybe even people older than us, Go for a Soda would have been the hit.
Oh, I love that song. That's one of my favorites.
That's one of my favorites too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like that's where you guys are. Like that's where most people probably would have gotten into them.
Patio Lantern.
Well, All We Are was one of my favorites,
oh, okay.
because the bass player, Peter, who had been playing with him, I didn't realize that he'd been playing with him for 40 years.
Yeah, do you want to tell the story on that one?
Well,
Or-
yeah. Well, you can. Or who wants to tell a story?
Go
about
ahead.
it? Well,
Go for it.
you saw him and he was playing. But he asked him, "Can you play guitar?" Can you
Yeah,
play
he was
bass?"
building a bit. He was building his
Those
band.
bands, that's right.
This was after Max Webster, and he was building the band. And so, you wanna play bass with me? You wanna come and do this with me? Sure. And you're okay doing this? Yes. And do this? Yes. And you got a van? Yes.
Can you sing though? Yes.
Oh yeah. Can you sing?
Can he? And he can sing. Yeah.
Yes. Because he was the one interacting at the very beginning of the concert.
Yep.
And then the last one was do you have a van? Yes. Okay,
Well,
you're in.
You're in.
And
That's
he's been
the
with him for 40 years. And
recommendations.
before the show even started, I was like, I go to my wife and I'm like, is he going to be there? Like this one, and I didn't know his name at the time.
No.
And I'm like, he's going to be there. And I was like, oh, I hope he's going to, like, I was really kind of getting antsy there. I'm like, please be there, please be there. And he showed up. I'm like, oh, yes. I'm like, we're here to see Kim Mitchell, but I'm almost more excited to see the bass player.
Oh,
Because he's such a good voice, and it just kind of complimented Kim Mitchell.
They complement
were-
each other very well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the Brian Adams and Keith Scott kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is like, yes, it's Kim Mitchell's band. To be specific here. It's Kim Mitchell's band. But obviously he's taking his friends along the way, and that, so when you have the camaraderie and it, you know, it follows through, and obviously they do the backing vocals and stuff like this. So what you hear on the album is literally what you're hearing, you know, 40 years down the road, but you're literally listening to the exact same thing. Obviously, being a band of his namesake, you do obviously revolve through the musicians or that studio musicians or whatever. So not all the players would be original players to it. But then they did tell the story about the keyboardist and all of his side projects and what he did before coming in and stuff like this. So it's always kind of great to bring that extra kind of talent in as well. And it further enhances the show.
Yeah.
And that, but yeah, it was, you know, once again, Commodore, smaller venue, but it's an awesome place to see them.
totally.
Sure was.
Did you know? Mitchell opened for Def Leppard at the Molson.
Yes, I did. I looked that up afterwards.
Yeah, in 2007. I was like, what? There's so many really interesting facts. I didn't know he's won so many awards. And then that he was on Tom Cochran's album, Mad Mad World.
Good album.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He played the guitar on Brave and Crazy. Same year, he also had a cameo appearance as himself on the third season finale of the Canadian sketch program, The Kids in the Hall.
Kids in the Hall.
Let's see, the song 1985, Go for Soda from the, I can't say it, Akimbo Alogo album.
Yeah, you're bang on.
Became an international hit and remains his best known song outside of his native Canada. His most successful Canadian album was the follow-up 1986 Shaken Like a Human Being, featuring the hits Alana Loves Me, Easy to Tame, and the biggest hit of his career, Patio Lanterns.
Yeah.
Which he did in the encore, which was awesome.
Which was awesome.
That
Yes,
was really good.
that was good.
His 1989 album Rockland achieved critical acclaim and was the highest placing chart album of his career.
Nice.
So many interesting things, like his radio broadcasting career. Mitchell has been on the same live bill with many acts over the course of his solo career, including Sammy Hagar, Def Leppard, Aerosmith, and Van Halen. What the hell?
He's played
I
with
didn't
some of
know
the biggest
any of
acts in the
that.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea. Although I swear I've seen him on some videos lately, like from like back in the 90s. I'm like, is that Kim Mitchell playing off in the back? I swear.
Could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how
Because he seems
talented.
to have worked with everybody.
You know, if you get accepted to go on a tour with these artists, obviously
Yeah.
they respect you,
100%.
Yeah.
and the music industry. It's small, so if you like an artist, like you could be from wherever, and you like that artist, and you want to tour with them. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter who it is. Like, and that's
Yeah, it becomes a small little industry. Everyone kind of knows each other, and you become friends and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Like, it was always funny. I remember as a child, you always thought, like, when you looked at music, well, this band must hate that band and stuff like this. At the end of the day, no,
They're
they
having
go,
beers together down
that's
the
just
street.
It.
Yeah.
They all get together. They all have beers. Like, there isn't really. Some bands there is rivalries, but there really isn't the rivalry. Like,
Not what we think it
And-
is.
Not like, yeah, exactly.
like actuality, if you look at the grunge movement and stuff like this, is a lot of those bands literally helped each other out and all this, and like, oh, you lost your drummer or whatever. Okay, well, borrow mine for this show just to get you through.
Yeah.
Slave labor. It's fine. I'm going to give you my
We'll
drummer
just-
without
we'll
talking
just
to him.
well. Here's this.
Yeah.
Extreme was in Washington State. I forget where they were, but they went to see Def Leppard in Seattle. So they went backstage and they're like, "Hey, can we get tickets? Like, how much for the tickets?" And Def
Yeah.
Leppard's like, "No, you're not getting tickets. We're giving you tickets. Like, we've got tickets for you. Here you go. You don't have to pay." And they're like, "Oh, wow." Like,
Yeah.
See, it's all
Extreme
about who
went
you
to see
know.
Def
Totally
Leppard, right?
We don't know the right people.
No, apparently not.
No, we don't.
Yet.
We're working
Yeah.
on it. We're working on
Yet.
it.
Yes.
Good.
Sponsorship. We could go for sponsorship, you know.
Anytime.
I will talk about anything. Throw me 3 tickets, please.
Yeah.
3.
We'll review
Free
your show.
ticket. Yeah, I'll take free tickets anytime.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
same.
I'm not good at enunciating.
It's all good. My hearing's not so great sometimes either.
We're on the 50.
Oh, I was going to say. that is the
Just
story.
be quiet over there, miss. You're 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
3 weeks
See,
away.
it's coming.
I was
We'll
going to
just
say,
skip it.
obviously, going to the Commodore show, before the show, you see upcoming concerts. It ended up prompting me to literally a week and a half after this concert, go to another concert myself.
I saw that.
Which was an interesting week because I had a hearing test on Tuesday. I got a clean bill of health from the hearing specialist on Wednesday. So how do I deal with it?
Concert.
On Thursday, I go to a concert.
You did wear earplugs,
Hey.
though, right?
I did wear my
his
earplugs.
well, okay.
Yes, of course.
Celebrating properly.
I stayed home because I was tired.
Yeah.
I was like, it's been a busy week. Forget that.
I wore my earplugs for Kim Mitchell, so.
Oh, yeah. Got to wear earplugs.
I didn't.
I
Victoria.
had earplugs.
Yeah,
Huh?
we had a
I
bunch
had
of earplugs. with us.
earplugs. I always have earplugs.
I never do.
Oh, that's terrible.
Donna didn't either, so you
No.
That will be a
I didn't
question
wear
I'm posing.
earplugs
But
at concerts. I never wore them to the racetrack.
have you had your hearing checked?
Not for years.
I'm thinking it might be a good idea.
Maybe
Yeah.
not. We'll see.
So how did it sound without earplugs then? Could you hear everything
See, I
fine?
think
and hear
it
the vocals?
sounds
Yeah.
better. I think it sounds better with earplugs.
Well, see-
Because
all
it
the
kind of takes all that like,
background crap out.
ambient, well,
Yeah.
or whatever
ambient noise.
so-
extra noise. Yeah.
When I saw Leopard in Portland, like, because they redid the arena for concerts,
Yeah.
I actually took one earplug out and I'm like, wow, this sounds a lot different.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
If
okay.
you're not hearing that tingy sound from
Yeah.
the cymbals and stuff like that. I think no, I wore them the whole time at Kim Mitchell. I think I took them out at one point
Yeah.
just to hear it. I'm like,
Nope.
wow. I'm
Yeah,
not
no,
getting-
put it back in.
No, but I'm not hearing that tinging sound.
Yeah.
But I just hear the vocals just a little bit.
It's more
better.
about the
Yeah.
damage it causes to your ears, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
that's the thing.
Once again,
If they wear
Commodore is a
them-
little more intimate, so it's not as bad as a
It's
full.
made for a concert though.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not as bad as a full stadium show.
But I was gonna say you don't have to like blare the amps and
That's
everything
right.
like that because it's a
Not
smaller
try to push
venue,
it.
right?
Yeah, so you could get away without necessarily doing it. I prefer doing it because what it does do is when you wear an earplug, it cuts down the highs and the lows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you literally listen. So like when they're talking
You can
and
hear
that
them and
you hear them
Yeah.
almost as if they're standing beside you talking to
Right,
you.
right.
But the
which-
way I look at it is if they're wearing them, which they are,
Yes.
Well, in-ear
I'm gonna
monitors, so
wear
they're.
them. But it also protects their ears. Too.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. But it's more of.
Check out your waitresses. Your waitresses are wearing earplugs.
Yes,
were,
they
yeah.
were. Yes, they were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you work in a venue like that too,
You
but
need 'em
though
more,
when
'cause
you're
it's
in there
every time.
every night like
I
that,
was
then
concerned. I
yeah.
wasn't sure if they were actually supplied. I was actually happy to see that they were wearing earplugs. So.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you forget them, you're kind of. I don't know if they would have them up here.
This they do.
They do now?
At the
You have
venues,
you
they
have
do.
to
You
ask. You have to pay them. I paid
$5
four
or
or
something.
$5 for once.
Oh, because when
Yeah.
when I went to the G3 in Vegas, I had my earplugs and I forgot them in the room.
yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I need earplugs. I just went down and they're like, here you go.
Oh, some of them free, but yeah, most venues have them. You just have to go to like, what do you call that, concierge or whatever?
Yeah,
like
customer
Yeah,
service,
or customer
service.
service or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're talking to my ear specialist, then he would recommend over the ear muffs.
Yes, he does.
Right.
Yeah.
For the show, shouldn't put anything in your ear canal, but earplugs it is.
Yeah, your earplugs are his second choice.
Well, I got
Yeah.
custom earplugs, so
Yeah, that helps.
It
That's
does.
even better.
Right.
it takes
Yeah.
the low end out, takes the high end. Yeah.
Well, yeah, when you got those are custom made. This became a talk about earplugs. Our new sponsor.
It's very important to
Back
protect your ear,
to-
people.
Back to Kim Mitchell.
Yeah.
Vic, you'll like this. In 2006, he provided a guitar solo on the song "Wind It Up" from the Bare Naked Ladies.
Nice.
Yeah, you like them. I
do like them,
They're
too.
Another good Canadian band.
Yep.
We should just do all Canadiana for a couple. We will be because we're going to a few Canadiana shows, right?
I've already
Yes.
been to one. I saw Thornley and the Conline Crush.
Yes,
Yep.
absolutely. Yeah. And you said he was also a radio broadcaster, right?
Yeah, from 2004 to 2015 for Q107 in Ontario. It was interesting. I remember hearing the news. Like, it wasn't a bad idea. Like, it's actually, I guess, the perfect evolution of your music career or whatever. Is obviously you do that. Who better to host a radio station than
Than a musician?
an actual musician?
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
A lot of them do.
Or
They'll do that.
podcasting or anything
Yeah.
like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know Julia does it. And I think
Alan
Sammy
Fruit is
Hagar
a-
does a show, and
Yeah, there's a lot of people who do.
Well, yeah, because it was when Larry and Willie left Seafox. So they brought Jeff O'Neill down and Todd Hancock,
Hancock.
another great Canadian
Yeah.
DJ. You probably could get him on this podcast because he has his own podcast.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that'd be a
so
good one.
Jeff O'Neill, Todd Hancock, and they actually had Biff Naked as their host.
Yeah, I remember that co-host.
Co-host for like 3 months, I think she did it.
Yeah,
Oh,
when
wow.
somebody was on leave or something. Yeah,
Well, no, it was on the Switch. It was
Oh, the Switch,
it was
yeah.
Switch. Larry and Willie had left Seafox.
it was fun listening to her.
Jeff
Yeah.
O'Neill was the afternoon
Yes,
guy.
I-
See, I listen to
I won a
Seafox way too
contest.
long.
I won a contest with him
Yep.
on the radio. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, as they moved to the new morning show or whatever, they had Biff Naked, another obviously local
Yeah, artist.
artist who was a co-host on it. So
He was the subject of the Rush song. I think I'm going bald.
makes sense.
Well, they're all from the same area.
They are, yeah.
You know, there's Highway
That's
Sweet, there's
hilarious.
Glass Tiger,
It is
there's Kim Mitchell.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Well,
there's
I don't
Rush,
know. He
there's
always wore
Tom
the
Cochran,
baseball
like-
hat, right? 'Cause
Yeah, with the long hair.
I
with the long
Yes,
hair,
yeah.
so he
Yeah.
was bald under there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
like in the 80s when he was there, obviously
Yeah.
hadn't come to grips with his hair loss.
Yeah.
So had the long hair, looked
Yeah.
right on him, had
With
the ball
the ball
cap
cap
on.
on.
You didn't think
So
about
you
it.
just assumed.
And then
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
take off the ball cap and going, oh, when did that happen?
I think he looked better without hair.
He, like-
Because his hair was so thin when it was long. I think he
It
just
was
looks
wispy.
way better.
Yeah, no, he
without.
looked.
He looked really
He
good.
looked
He looked really good in the
fantastic.
show.
Yeah.
Like he's embraced it.
Yeah.
And it looks good on him. He's a
does.
great performer. Like I said, 72 years old and still
Yeah.
rocking
And
out
he's
hits.
still, it was a
His
great
His voice
show.
didn't sound
Yeah.
different. Sound the same.
No.
Yeah. Put on
Yeah.
a really good show.
Yeah, I don't.
I'd see him again if he came.
Oh, I would definitely go see him again.
Just like I said, it was kind of one of those off the fly, like, hey, he's come, we should just go
We
check
should
him
just
out.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
You know, add
I'm
a
glad
different
we
one.
did.
And me too, because usually you just go to your favorites all the time, right?
Yes.
And not that he's not a favorite, but he's just not something that was on the radar as something we'd want to go see.
Mm-hmm.
We all knew his songs. We all liked his songs. And it's just like, we need to do
Sure,
more
why
of those
not? Yeah,
kind,
exactly,
right? Those
yeah.
are fun.
Yeah.
And I'll say it was a perfect ending for a perfect birthday weekend.
There you go. That's a good way to put it.
That
Yeah,
was-
because both your birthdays were in that week.
In that weekend, yeah.
And it was
week.
the perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was.
Good way to start
Yeah.
your
well,
50s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because that's what we kind of labeled it was
Yeah.
our 50th kind of 50th
Yeah.
birthday outing or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Although yes, I know you haven't hit your 50th yet.
I was going to say, it's
and-
not mine.
Well, the three of us who have our birthdays within close proximity of each other.
I need to find one for mine then.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's still time.
There's time.
lots.
That's right.
we
Someone good
are
better
going
come.
to another Canadian band in March.
March. We're going to
yeah.
2 in March.
Yes, we are. We
Yeah,
are.
we are.
Oh.
What's the other one you guys are
We're
going?
going to go see Colin
I'm going
James.
to see Colin James
Oh.
finally.
That was his birthday present from me. It's Colin
Nice.
James.
I
I'm
finally
sure
get
there's
to
still
go see him.
tickets if you guys want to go too. Yeah. But yeah, because you've been wanting to see Colin James for a very long time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Where's he playing?
Orpheum.
Yes, like, I
Yeah.
don't remember.
Which
I was like,
is,
I don't
like,
remember being
right
a
next door to
Commodore, but it was
Commodore.
something like that. It wasn't Rogers, that's
No,
for sure.
I
I
think it's
remember
right
seeing
over
those
there.
too.
That would be a good show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
That would be a good show.
Yeah,
But
he's
I
a really
do
good
have a
performer.
CD of his when he did 25 Live, and when he actually recorded in the Commodore.
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
Cool.
Well, I'm seeing another show that month too. So,
yeah.
yeah.
Which other
We're
show you
seeing
went to?
Heart. So,
Oh yeah, Heart.
I didn't know that.
And then is it here? Are they
yeah, it's
coming
at the
here?
Coliseum. Yeah.
Oh, they sold out real fast then probably because I need to see because Vicky, hey, want to go see Heart?
I kind of do.
Kind of do.
It's both of them?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, this turned into we're now talking about different concerts we want to go see, but we really did love Kim Mitchell. It was a good time. Enjoyed well with lots of friends.
seems like.
Yeah,
okay.
it's fine.
See, Heart is another good one. Is like I know they're an American band from Seattle,
But they
But-
came up here, so.
but well, that's just it. Is
They're on,
Vancouver's
they're
their
on
home,
our
too.
coastline.
in fact, no, they came up here during the draft.
No, I know, but I'm just saying they're
Yeah.
like Seattle.
but
like,
they broke like
Yeah.
a lot of their success came from being in Vancouver. They hung out with the guys from
apparently
Loverboy
it
and
was
stuff like
rescheduled.
this. So
Oh.
Yes.
they can
Why is it Ticket Leader, not Ticketmaster?
Yeah, no, it's Ticket Leader. This is the only one that's Ticket Leader.
Oh, because it's at the Coliseum, that's why.
Oh, interesting.
Anyways, yeah, no, Heart, like I said, they have obviously they're a West Coast band anyways, but the West Coast connection to Vancouver, just like Jimi Hendrix had a connection here because his grandmother lived in Vancouver as well. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of good bands. I know this episode was actually talking about an East Coast band, which was Kim Mitchell, but
Yeah. But that's okay.
gotta love our West Coast talent as well.
That's right.
It's all good.
Is it sold out?
He's a Juno Award winner. There's so many good things about the Canadian Canadian area.
Canadian music rocks anyway.
It does. It does.
Come on, we have one of the best producers in the world,
Yeah.
Oh, Bruce Fairbairn.
Bob Rock.
Bob Rock.
We have one of the most popular artists in the world, Bryan Adams.
Bryan Adams.
I'll say it. Probably
There's
one of the
still
more
quite-
popular bands
there
was
is. I'm
Tragically
surprised
Hip.
by that.
Still lots of tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What section you in?
I thought we were talking West Coast, so Tragically Hip wasn't West Coast, they're East Coast.
We're just gonna wrap up the podcast now and
Yeah,
go
right?
look at tickets.
Hang on, I was just there.
If you have the chance, go to the Commodore, check out a band that you haven't gone and seen before. You'll probably have a good time. I think we're going to try and do more of that. See ones that we've never seen. Maybe ones that we only know one or two songs, because it was fun. It was interesting to hear all the different ones.
I want us to go see more concerts, period. Because a
Period.
lot of
Yes,
the artists
exactly.
that we want to see, their careers are starting to wind down. So
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So we should
So
be
I
able to see
want to
them
go
all
to
we
see
can.
artists that I
Yeah.
haven't seen a
That's
lot.
right.
So
Yeah. It's a good way to do it.
Well,
It is.
that's why I jumped the gun and I went and, like I said, I saw Thornley and Econoline Crush. And once again, more Canadian bands. And I highly
Exactly.
recommend it because.
yeah, and I've seen Thornley. Yeah.
Oh, you've seen Thornley?
I've seen them twice. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't get
Wow.
to see
No.
Latif. Freaking
Small venues, one in Chilliwack and one in Abbotsford. So
Lyle just had to
What
do
was
the one
interesting
out.
on this? Did you see him as Thornley or did you see him
I saw Big Wreck and Thornley.
Okay, because on this one, obviously, he went and did
Apparently,
things
we weren't ending the conversation.
at the end of the show when he was into his encores. He's like, "Fuck it, wrong band," and then he played a Big
Whoa.
Wreck song.
Oh, jeez. That's awesome.
So that was a good show.
That's cool. All right. Okay.
All right, guys.
Okay.
We will catch you on the B side.
Thank you for joining us on the Music Roundtable. Please like and comment where you listen to the podcast, and make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter and let us know what you'd like us to talk about. Until next time.